Greetings viewers, wherever you may be. This is Best Out Digital and I am here as the host for today's program, which is the special interview on current affairs, where we will be talking about burning issues that are of pertinent interest to the public. And I am Ablie Darboe, in case you may not know. Well, today, in the midst with us in the studio here, I am with a seasoned journalist, an activist also. He's a renowned journalist, none other than Mr. Yusef. Mr. Taylor, thank you very much for honoring our invitation within short notice, and welcome to the program.
It's indeed a pleasure, and thank you so much for the invitation to be here with you and talk to your amazing listeners and viewers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taylor, for that brief introduction. You don't need much introduction because you are a public figure and a renowned journalist in this country.
Well, today I'm here as the spokesperson of Team Gomsapop.
Team Gomsapop, and also a concerned citizen too.
I'm a concerned citizen.
Double hats. Today you are
my journalism hat aside.
Sure, yeah, you are right, because you are an activist as well. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Taylor, once again. First of all, let's start with post 2017. Based on your understanding, can you assess or gauge the level of progress of our democracy from 2017 to date after we voted out Jammeh? How do you see the growth of Gambia's democracy?
I mean, that's a marathon question, huh? As in, you know, as a civil society advocate, as the spokesperson of Gomsapop, we've seen that there's been a positive change. And things what we were expecting from the TRRC, from the CRC, there were a lot of anticipations from the Jammeh Commission. All those things were pointing that the Gambia was moving in the right direction. However, when it came to crunch time, and this goes to show the challenges the Gambia has. We have wonderful documents, we have amazing plans, we have a good constitution, but then the implementation by the authorities is the problem. We've seen that the executive has been cherry-picking recommendations to implement, starting with the constitution, which they coup d'etat in Parliament in 2021 or 2020, just before the the second term, and that was the beginning of some of the very unfortunate things that started unraveling, because the constitution is the foundation of the third republic that the country was supposed to be established upon. Then all the TRRC recommendations and all the Jammeh Commission's recommendations, we've seen how this government is cherry-picking, putting people back from the Jammeh Commission. Mamadou Sabali is one of them. The director of Pura, Njogoba, is one of them. No wonder we are having problems with the Pura, for example, the price floor. You see? So it's showing you that of late, coming to now because I can talk to you about this thing for so long, but I know there are many things to talk about. What we now see is a backsliding of the democratic principles of this country, starting with gross human rights violations, which we are seeing, like the police brutality. Security sector reform is not being implemented. When you ask me how I see things from 2017 to date, ECOMIC came into this country in 2017 to secure the handover of the current president. And until now, how many years?
Almost to 9.
Almost to 9 years. You see, they are still here. They have. When is that going to?
Did you think that they have impact or they have been effective with regards to current security sector reform agendas of this country?
No, but I believe that they have played an important role, which started with securing the president to come in. But did you anticipate that ECOMIC will be here in 2017? Were you expecting that ECOMIC will be here almost 9 years later? Did you expect that? I don't think so. I'm sure your answer is no. For me, it certainly is no. Because we would have anticipated within the first term that ECOMIC would have phased out.
We've seen Afrobarometer surveys where the public assess that it's now time for them to leave.
Exactly.
2019 coming downwards.
You see, so I mean, we cannot rubbish the efforts of ECOMIC. We can only thank ECOWAS for securing this transition which we have right now, right? But it's clear judging from the people's perception, that it's high time that if we had had security sector reform, and this is the thing, if security sector reform was successful, right, over the 9 years, would ECOMIC be here by now? You see where I'm coming from? So that is a gauge of how far our democracy is progressing. And the lack of security sector reform is showing, it seems like we are now going backwards because of security officers are brutalizing, killing people. We have multiple examples, which I can just, if you want, I can just give you examples non-stop right now as we speak, because I'm ready.
No. We have several cases of incidents where police have with the public resulting to the death of some people.
Exactly.
We have different cases.
Yes.
So, but moving on, you've made mention of this saga of Pura with regards to the data tariff. Team Bopa led that protest in collaboration with Gala, and we've seen how that ended. But first of all, let's focus on that data price flow thing. You are an advocate of an introduction of a price ceiling, the net of price flow. Tell us more about that, because it seems you have a clue about it. You have been advocating for it strongly. You went live, you talked about it. So, for the benefit of the audience who didn't watch your live, can you explain to them the difference between a price ceiling and a price floor, and how it will benefit the consumer more than the GSM operators?
That's a very important question, one that has been left behind. To simply explain, this price floor which we have right now, it means that all the price of data, it cannot go lower than $50 for 1 gigabyte. Now, but when you have a price ceiling, it does the opposite, which is, for example, if you are buying petrol, you will see that every month the government, together with the oil marketing companies, they have a price ceiling. That means no company can charge more than that amount. So every month they announce it, and when you go to the fuel pump, you will see the price does not exceed. But where you see, like Jar Oil, they reduce their price, so the price can go lower. So now that means that you are protecting the consumers, because now the price cannot go more than a particular amount. But now, if you are saying the price cannot go lower, you know what that does, and what that did actually. There were promotions that were going on at that time. All the promotions from the 22nd came to a shot. They all stopped. So now all the price went up. There was an increase of 240-something% because of the internet prices were as cheap as $13 for 1 GB from some of the companies. You know, because of Gomsa Bopa, we have put out some statistics, we have put out some data. I don't know if you saw our statement showing all the 3 different GSM companies and their prices. So we believe that this really is not good, because of the quality has not even improved. The quality of internet is not better. It's maybe even worse in some instance. So really, I think there's a lot that needs to be done for the consumers, not to the expense of the consumers. You can protect the producers because of you want to make sure that the producers can deliver quality service, but not at the expense of the consumers, definitely.
So, with regards to this issue, what do you think is supposed to be the role of the regulator? Because they are the ones who introduced this price floor thing that has resulted for you people to come out to protest against it, and we all know how it ended. So what do you think is supposed to be the role of the regulator in instances like this?
The regulator, even if they wanted to increase this price floor to where it is now, they should have engaged the public.
Consultation.
Consulted the public. And that's within their purview. That's what PURA is established to do. All right? See, what are the producers or the GSM companies' complaints to why they have to increase the price floor? Bring that and talk to the consumers. Look at how it can gauge them. See if there is somewhere that you can meet. But to just increase within 2 days, because of PURA, on the 20th or on the 19th is when they announced that they are going to bring this price floor of August. Yeah? And then, before you know it, on the 22nd, and in their statement, it says that on the 22nd it will come into effect. That was just 2 days notice. They didn't even consult the Gambians.
Less than 72 hours.
Yes, 2 days notice. And then the price floor came into effect. Because of, as soon as us, the journalists, you know, as I said, I'm a journalist, but I'm here as a spokesperson. As soon as, because I'm my day-to-day job, because advocacy work is not paid.
Sure.
Yeah, so my day-to-day job is working as a journalist. So as a journalist, as soon as we knew about it, I went there with some of my colleagues to request to talk to Pura and for them to explain what is going on. And if you heard some of the explanation from Pura, it was very worrying. It's very, very worrying.
You think they were trying to excuse, they are trying to use it as an excuse?
Oh yes, but what was most worrying with regards to what Pura explained was that they know that, for example, and this is their exact words, QCell may not be happy about what Comium is doing, right? And then the gentleman from Pura, there's 2 of them. One is Burama Jame and the other one, I forgot his name. He's the other one who was speaking. And then he said that he may not be happy about what Comium is doing here, but they are doing the same thing in Sierra Leone. What he's referring to is they have what you call a penetration strategy.
Okay.
So when a GSM company comes that's new, like Comium, they will bring their prices low to increase their market share, and then they can now compete with the big boys with regards to price. But until they have a market share, they cannot. QCell is in Sierra Leone. So Pura is telling us that they know that QCell is not happy with what Comium is doing in Gambia, but they are doing, QCell is doing the same thing in Sierra Leone. And we are doing our investigations. We are talking to our colleagues in Sierra Leone to find out what the price of the tariffs are.
He's also a fact checker too.
Yes.
In case they don't know.
Yes. So we are trying to see, because of that type of hypocrisy, we will call it out. GSM companies who are here, and Official is also in Sierra Leone. We also know that. So, are they treating us fairly? We will compare the prices, because of Pura said that they have a regional benchmark, isn't it? And that Gambia, our tariffs are relatively reasonable or low. I forgot what the words are. So they decided that it's going to be $50. So, I mean, the reasons that they put out clearly show that they are not looking for the best interests of the consumers. And us right now, we are suffering. Internet.
It's all
Gambia could make a enjoy internet right now. Data. Data for overshare. Too expensive.
Yeah, I think the complaint is all over. But moving forward, before we come to the protest and the police engagement with the public, you've written to them, despite everything, you've written to them, you've petitioned them.
Yes.
With regards to that petition, tell us something about that. Have they responded? Did you set an ultimatum? Or?
Well, they've responded in that the president himself came out with a committee, a presidential committee, to set up a presidential committee to look at this GSM thing. Right, and that was in 25th or 24th, around that time, because of
shortly after the protest.
Yes, exactly, around the 24th, 25th, right? But until now, of August, until now, we are now in October. 1 month has passed plus, and nothing. When they set up the task force, we welcomed it in our press conference. We had a press conference, yes, and you were there. We welcomed the, the presidential task force. But we also highlighted that there was no timeline for this. Now, we've seen, it's a presidential task force or committee, not so. The president has gone now on a 6 weeks leave, which is also another issue, another discussion topic on its own. 6 weeks. Is that what the law says? People need to be very clear, because of the president must lead by example. Is it 22 days that civil servants should be having as leave, or is it how many days? Huh? 6 weeks. It's a long period. But anyways, because it's a presidential committee, now you can, what is going to happen? And this is what we were highlighting. This government is playing a stalling tactic on Gambians. by taking us to court, charging us, trying to think that they can restrain us from protesting again lawfully. And in fact, I want to highlight that the first day when we came, it was not a protest in the sense that we were marching or anything like that. Yeah, it was a protest, a demonstration guaranteed under Section 25 of the Constitution, which is to freely assemble, right? And then to hand in a petition. So before we put in our petition, we were stopped. So our plan was, in that petition, we had a deadline, which was we gave them 3 days. Yeah? And that was like the working days, 3 working days there, because of we didn't count the weekends. So, and that would have allowed us, if they did not meet the deadline, then we would have launched a protest in the sense of it. You see? So we feel that Aspura is a public utilities regulatory authority. It's a place where people should be, public should be able to go to, you know, complain, register their concerns. And that's exactly what we were doing, all within Section 25. We were not marching, processing, we were not using loudspeaker, which is what the Public Order Act Section 5 and Section 6 is controlling. And you need a permit to do that in the current laws. You see? Yeah.
Well, we've seen that when you embarked there, the police also embarked there. They came, they arrested some of your people. At the end of the day, you were trial at you were prosecuted at the court, and you were granted bail later on, but you were charged on lawful assembly. This Public Order Act, do you think it is still an issue? Because what they were saying, you protested without permit, therefore you are charged on lawful assembly.
You see, I'm glad you asked that question, and I think it's important that I just give people some little bit of information. You see, the police themselves are not using the Public Order Act the way that the law dictates. You see, and because of why do we have that?
But for police officers do study law.
Yes, but we have a problem of presidential influence over the police. Yeah, I don't think it's a case of interpretation, because of if you talk about interpretation, you should have read it to at least go into interpretation. But we still live in the day and age of orders from above. What did Sar say when he came there? He said, my orders, yes, I'm not here to,
you should disperse or get arrested.
You see?
Before you know it.
Okay, yeah. You see, so you had what, and you know, you clip it and see if you can put it in there. He had what Sar said, my orders. So he's working on orders, right? And the IGP, the president can hire and fire him any moment. This is why when we started the conversation, we're talking about the Constitution, which was the foundation of the democracy that we should have been enjoying by now. A IGP who would not be under the strings of the president. When they want to give a permit, they say, is these people borrow for 5 years? Permit granted. Is these people borrow for 3 years, Jotna? No permit. You see?
No selective justice.
You see? So now, you are talking about the Public Order Act.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand. The police, because of, on that day, when I was being arrested, I was talking to the police and the moderate police officers. You know, the PIU have been singled out in the TRRC. And they have a lot of work that they need to do. Reforms. When it comes to crowd control, their involvement in the April 10, 11, 2000. I'm bringing history, Fateh Hejut Fee. And this all have to do with the Public Order Act. This is what the Public Order Act, just the description of the Public Order Act.
Yeah.
An act to prohibit the maintenance by private persons of associations of military or similar character. And to make provision for the preservation of public order on the occasion of public processions. And to make provision for the control of the use in public of apparatus for amplifying sound and for connected matters. These are the 3 main things that the Public Order Act is. The Public Order Act did not say it's an act to control all protests in the country.
So do you say it's not the problem? How they implement it?
How they implement it. So the selective justice. So for them, for some of the officers, they now understand, for them, they are understanding that any protest must be given a permit. The Public Order Act, the main thing, the first thing, and this is in the hierarchy, the first thing, an act to prohibit the maintenance by private persons of associations of military or similar character. That's, you cannot have like a militia. You cannot have a security force, private, with weapons and all these kind of things. Public Order Act, I'm not solo. Then the other thing, to make provision for the preservation of public order on the occasion of public processions. If I'm marching from A to B, I'm going on the highway. Where my right stops, somebody else's right starts. So I'm going to be taking the traffic. And people are going to be denied to go to work or whatever. So you ask for a permit so that it can be organized, and then people will know so and so time a protest is happening here, you can use another way. Everybody goes about their business. Then, to make provision for the control of the use in public of apparatus for amplifying sound and for connected matters. This one. So when you are making noise with a loudspeaker in public, you are making sound and you are disturbing others. Okay? Even though in the markets, we see that they use them. Nobody stops those people there. We are not saying that the law itself right now is actually bad. It can be improved because we believe that people should be able to just notify from permit to notification.
Amendments need to be done.
Yes, this is in the TRRC, in the transitional justice process. And the government themselves, even Honorable Suleiman Saho brought a bill to do that, but the majority house blocked it.
So,
you see, so these things, I'm not solo, but this government is doing selective justice. When the religious leaders or some imams took to the street and marched from arch to police, was anybody arrested? That one is procession. We are not saying that, we don't believe that those imams should be arrested. But the law is saying that if you do procession, that's, you have to have permit right now. We say that that should change to notification. But can you see how we, ñun den ñu tooñ. Ñun boo xamee ne procession using loudspeaker, ñun leen arrest.
You are the victims.
Exactly. But look, when you look at it the other way, those who kill Omar Baji, have they been named? Us police, for this is bailable offense, right? They come, they plaster all our names, everything, as if we have killed somebody. We are criminals, as if we have done a serious offense. What we did was lawful and legal.
So you are still living by that slogan?
We are lawful and we are legal, definitely.
Moving on, talking about the police conduct, let's talk about the police conduct in the last few months. It's been a busy summer, honestly, with regards to the police conduct and the public. How do you assess them? Because from July, I can say, from July when Gala protested at Banjul up to the moment we are in, there are a series of occasions where police and the public have been in confrontation. Soon, the public will be stoning, the police will be firing tear gas, counter-reacting, arresting, prosecuting, bailing. So many things have happened between the public and the police. What do you think? Do you think this could have been avoided? Because to some, they said the police, they just overreact. But these are things that are not even necessary. All of these things are avoidable. So what do you have to say with regards to that?
Well, the police have put themselves on a microscope for a long time now. Their selective application of the law, the manner in which they are cracking down on police, on people, journalists, Bayun Len Ghana. You know, they will, and now it's as if the police, they don't care. They don't care that the media is videoing them or covering them. Lulu mo magina jahal. Look at how they threw Omar live in front of the cameras. They picked this guy up. Jamko si van bi. Pick up. Just look at that. You have 4 of you cannot hold somebody if you want to handcuff him or whatever and put him inside. 4 of you. You cannot do that. Police brutality has been a serious problem in this country. People have died. Many people have died. Usman Darboe, feeling correct. Usman Darboe is the Serekunda market vendor. 2019, when they killed him, people marched from Serekunda all the way to Bijilu. The government came out with a statement, said that they are going to make sure that they hold those people who did it accountable. They will do the post-mortem or whatever and find out why he died. To date, nothing. No justice. The Keba Seka, stabbed to death by a police officer. Where are we with that one? The one which two of them, Gumsa Bopa, only twice we took complaints to NHRC. And on those two occasions, we have had some semblance of justice. Ibrahim Asane, one young man who, God bless his soul, Gorgimbu, hit with an axe, took a hoe and hit him on his private parts. When I wrote this story, they came out, police themselves came out refuting, saying that what we said was not true. It's all false. The next day I walked into anti-crime as a journalist. I believe I was the first journalist during their walking. I walked in there to talk to Gorgin Boop, and he spoke to me. And I challenged him, I asked him, this guy, did you not beat him? He did not deny it. I said, that did he piss blood here? Because of this is what I was told, and it was in this story. He could not deny it. Everybody could see NHRC, when we took that victim, Ibrahim Asani, after that terrible ordeal, we all saw what happened. They removed him, and even the victim was compensated. Another victim as well, Chipai, same thing. Yeah. So police brutality has been happening. Us as Gumsa Bopa, we have been holding the hands of these victims, working with them, going to the NHRC, trying to make sure that they get justice. But now, it's not just about that. There has to be consequences. What we mean consequences, there has to be arrest, detention. It's like we, today, from here, I'm going to court.
Yeah.
I am like the criminal here. We are the criminals. We are the bad people.
The charges are not dropped yet.
Yes, we are the bad people. If you listen to some of what the people are saying, minority, we are a small minority, you know, and we are the ones who are trying to destabilize the country. Have we ever killed anybody? Are we being prosecuted for killing Gambians? No. But if you look at in Gambia and you wear the lens of some of these, it seems as if we are the criminals. We are the murderers.
Yeah, we've seen that right now you are on the you are bailed.
Yes.
You and your cohorts, some of your members are on the bail. But these bail conditions, looking at it, they say $50,000. But
surety.
Yeah, surety, $50,000. But some are saying that this is a delay tactic because they know that even some things happen under this government, you people might come out and protest. So this bill that is put on you is like a hang. If you want to protest, they might revoke your bail and be sent to Mile 2. Do you also see it that way, that it's a delay tactic to avoid protest by you people? Especially because at the moment they are the most outstanding, or I can say outstanding when it comes to protest. Gala and Kim comes about. Do you see it as a delay tactic?
Oh yes, definitely. Throwing us in Mile 2, even sir, was pour muscle new.
So meaning that wasn't necessary. Going back to the police station.
No, in fact, they're throwing us. I'm telling you from where it started.
Okay.
The fact that when they threw us into Mile 2, that was put new muscle new. Boba, we will be afraid. It will dampen our spirit. Soon again, if we come out of Mile 2, we will just no. But guess what? When we came out of Mile 2, we start exposing the things that are happening in Mile 2. Now the government is even saying that they are going to bring another prison.
Yeah.
You see, so we know that they are delaying us. The government is saying that they want to do dialogue.
Yeah.
Dialogue, government never sent any invitation letter about any dialogue since when they started talking about dialogue.
Since from that press conference?
Yes. They never sent a letter to Gumsa Bopa or Gala. Yes, because of it's our members that are the 23 that were, you know, some of the people who were going through the Mile 2 and currently being prosecuted. We told them, drop the charges if you want us to have dialogue. This government is delaying. The same way that they are delaying the price floor with the committee. They announced a committee. Gambians said, wow, well done. We said, well, it's good that you've established a committee, but where is the timeline? You see? Yes. Now, so that we can know when we are to get back, know from you. So you see, the delaying tactics will continue, and government does not want people to hold them accountable. That's what this government is showing us.
As the spokesperson of Team Bopa Spokesperson, I would want to know how committed are you through this course? Because you are saying that it's a delay tactic, and no matter how this narrative might be, you are still under bail charges. So how committed are you in case things are unfolded somehow and you want to protest, but still the bail charges are on? Will you still rather go out to pursue your advocacy that you are doing?
Even in Mile 2, we protested. How did we protest?
Behind bars.
Behind bars we protested. By going on a hunger strike. Oh. We refused to be silenced. This government cannot keep us silent in Mile 2. You think they'll be able to stop us from doing our advocacy and do what we lawfully are guaranteed under the Constitution to do whilst we are outside? It's not possible. It's not possible. We will not be silenced.
You are not relenting.
We are not relenting. In fact, push them rek.
Okay, but moving on, now let's talk about the president's speech after this recent incident which led to the death of Omar Baji. The president or the executive sent a delegation. They've assured that they are going to institute a panel to investigate the circumstances of this matter. Before coming to the president's speech, first of all, with regards to that incident, what's your reaction to that and that of the delegation for their assurance that to the family that they are going to institute a panel? Because at first we saw the police statement twice or 3 times talking about how the boy died. First they say he collapsed, then later on they said during the hot pursuit. I think it was all this. The guy collapsed. That's what they said.
He fell.
He fell in those 2 press releases that they issued. What's the reaction to that incident?
If anything I've learned as a journalist and an activist reporting on police brutality, this is no different. It was the same when
the trend continues.
The trend continues. They always come out with some statement which is like shocking you, even when you read it. Even if you are just started to go to school today, you will know that, but what's going on here? You mean to tell me somebody who works in the garden, who is reported to have been making blocks, over 100 blocks, not long ago, of cement. Go and do block work and see. It's not easy like that then. So, given all the fitness of the person, they just fell and died like that. They didn't explain what happened when they were chasing which officers were doing it.
The logic here is common sense.
It's just common sense. And then, when you move out of, I'm just highlighting their trend and why they bring up some of these explanations, which is just unbelievable, And then when you listen to what the witnesses say and the pictures that are circulated about this young man, the state he was in, the way his neck was like that. How did that guy fall like that? That will be a very interesting way to fall. This is shocking. It's a continuation of brutalization of Gambians. It's a betrayal of the never again slogan. Millions which we've pumped into the transitional justice process. Like I said, we have all these wonderful recommendations, all these wonderful policies and documentations. When it comes to execute and implement, pick and choose. And this is what is causing this, because of the TRRC and the SSR. If they had progress, officers would know that they are not judge, jury, and executioner in this country. This is a country of laws. Police have to use reasonable force when arresting suspects. And they must bring them in front of the court in front of the judge. If they have bailable offenses, charge them, and if they are not a flight risk, give them their bail. You don't even have to wait for 72 hours. But this country, the police brutality that is happening, that we have witnessed to Omar Baji, there must be accountability. It's not going to be like those other ones there.
No, yesterday, even Almame Jibe, he said this case is not going to be silenced.
Nobody is going to allow that to be silenced. The president's speech gave some inaccuracies. I don't know who is writing the speech for the president.
You spot some inaccuracies?
Oh, yes. Just the first few lines.
Which is?
Which is that the disturbances led to the death of Omar Baji.
Oh.
The disturbances. And just for accuracy, this is important. Let's not just, brush this aside. Let me go to the statement of the president, and then let me use my other phone, which is the one having, see, I'm not having data on both of my, I'm not having data on both of my phone. I'm only having data on one of them, because data never share. So, but let me just go on the president's statement, and then we will quote him word for word. Perhaps you can even, eliminate some of the delays. Just a moment. Okay. It said, "It is with a heavy heart that I address you following the recent disturbances which have led to the tragic loss of life and injury affecting both citizens and members of our security services. Did the recent disturbances lead to the killing of Omar Baji, or did Omar Baji's killing lead to the disturbances?" So, I'm sure somebody have written this for the president and they've got it wrong. All right? Now, that's a very inaccurate statement, which really is the trend of the statement from the president. It was very short, 5 minutes. Now, he extended his condolences to the family of Omar Baji, but he did not say anything about accountability for Omar Baji, which is very, very worrying.
As the head of state.
As the head of state, knowing that that's what everybody is crying for, knowing that that's why the people went out to protest. The protest did not lead to the death of Omar Baji. Omar Baji was not a protester. Let that be very clear. Now, the president, he has lost a child before. And I want to believe he knows the pain of losing your child. Really, I thought that he would have given a more empathetic statement than this. Because why did I say that? The president is talking about protecting lives. You see? And some of the things that which he is saying, calling some people what? Minority. These are some of the statements that the president is using. You are dividing Gambians. Who is a minority here? So if the minority are raising their concerns, they should not be considered. You see? So
you see that as kind of discriminatory?
Of course. You as a nation, a country, is as good as how they treat their minorities. Show me how a country treats the disabled. Show me how a country treats those who are in the difficult, marginalized. That's the values. Those shows you the values of a country. Gambia deki yer Mandela. We cannot leave those values behind. You see, there is one thing we must highlight from this president's statement. The government remains vigilant in protecting all lawful rights, and those who resort to violence or incite it will be held accountable in accordance with due process and respect for human rights. This is what the president is saying. But what about the police and the brutality that I have been highlighting all this time?
You
see? And the president, in his statement, he is putting more emphasis on property. than how we should address life. We need accountability for those who have been killed. We need accountability for human rights violations, for police brutality. That's more of our priority. If you remember, when Usman Darboe protest occurred, and the youths protested, they took 37 youths to Mile 2.
Straight?
Yes. They arrested them and they detained them for arson. Charged them. That's Killer Ace and some others. 37. Now, imagine that. But what about those who killed Usman Darboe? Until now. Until now.
Now, with regards to the police relationship with the public, do you think the relationship is kind of toxic? I don't want to use the word toxic, but do you think the trust is no more there? Because at the end of the day, community policing, even the police, that's what they advocate for. And community policing has to go with members of the community, that's the public. Do you think the trust between the public and the police has downgraded or degraded?
I think certainly it's not going in the forward, it's going backwards. And I'll explain why. I was just going through the Gambia Police Force, their TikTok page. Just go on there and see how they do their patrols. They go on their vehicles. They just see a group of guys sitting down. If you see how the police rush out and chase people, right? No asking, no talking to them. It's not as if, you understand? You're telling them why they are detained for. They just rush. And this is what leads to what officers are killing people. You understand? Look, the trust is deteriorating because police officers now are showing that they don't even care if the media is there. They are going to do what they are going to do. They have somebody under their detention. The trust is not being eroded because of I'm coming on the media and saying bad things about the police. This is how they want to make it sound. The videos are showing for themselves. Please make sure you play them as I'm talking. The police, we've seen, the police just come and just slap somebody under the custody of the police. You already have somebody who is complying with you. That was in Jabang. Guy just come, slap you. And this guy is complying, he's not fighting. Another guy, same thing, in Mandinari. The police, they have this guy under custody. The officer stamped this guy flat on his stomach or on his abdomen area. Live, you can see it. We are not the ones who are trying to ruin the police's name. What we want is the community policing you're talking about. Stop and search anyhow. Huh? Is that how things are done? You don't tell people, you don't engage people. Huh? What is the role of the D-leg?
Drug.
Yes. So because of cannabis, it's okay to kill people in this country. That's what we are trying to say. But we know that there are serious drugs which have been intercepted in this place. What about those ones? Those big criminals. Those criminals, they are not being held. So, police, really, I feel that there are some very good police officers. Whilst we were arrested, whilst we were detained, even in the prison service, we met some very good police officers. Don't get me wrong there. Because of many of them, they are my friends.
The police?
Yes. The police, many of them are my friends. When I was being arrested that day, I was talking to the police, senior officers. You see? And I'm not that person to be pushing and pulling with the police. I respect them when they are doing their work. You could see the way that they escorted me into the van.
I was trying to say whether that was a voluntary arrest, but the moment you were saying where you were even following with your bag and your placards.
Yes, they were pushing me. You know, there are many of them.
Yeah,
they are pushing you, and if you start to push and pull with them, you will have problems with them. They will assault you. You understand? All right? So I just decided not to do that. Because of me, it's not me. I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything. I was talking to their superior officers. You understand? So why should I be fighting with new recruits or some PIU officers who don't understand how to, the procedures of police, because police have their own procedures. Why? Why should I? No, I don't need to.
So, Mr. Taylor, with regards to the police, the IGP's assurance that they are going to institute a panel and the president's speech, do you have any level of trust that something productive might come out from this case, that of Omar Baji?
Well, the only trust I have is that if they don't do the needful, then rest be assured that this country, people will come out. That's the trust I have. I don't have any trust in no committee. Suma yakar bi ak suma trust bi si yen la nek Gambian people. Yen la ulu. Let them come out and tell us something that people cannot understand, that this guy fell and died.
Well,
let the committee do that. Me, that's all I'm going to say. Because of these people, every time committee, investigation, even when the recommendations come, Jane Commission, they will apply it selectively. CRC, Constitution, ñu kopu ko fele nele, TRRC mu fi implement ñu ne ñu bañ. Légui sa report sa do ko gis. Until now, I'm talking about the Pura, price floor and the committee. What? Nothing. So, once bitten, twice shy. I'm now challenging them to prove me wrong. And when they prove me wrong, I'll say, well done. Happily. I will say, well done, Gambia Police Force. Mark my words. If they prosecute those people and treat them like the criminals that they are treating us, parading us around like criminals who kill somebody, and the government does the right thing, I'll say, well done, you people are fair.
Well, you've been to Mile 2. I've seen several of your colleagues who went there, they shared their experience. I would like to hear firsthand. You were there. Can you tell us the condition there? Has it improved? Because after the establishment of TRRC, or after post-Jammeh, we hear that it's no more, it's now a correction center, no more a punishment center. So you were there. I would like to get your experience there, first-hand information. How is the condition there? Has it improved?
Wow. It's a correction center as it is right now.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Wow. That's very, very interesting. Mile 2 is not fit for a dog. That's how bad it is. My colleagues, us who went there, we call that place Africa's hell on earth. There is no correction that is happening in Mile 2. What? The only thing that is happening in Mile 2 was built by the colonialists. When they came, that was where they used to take those people that were considered resistance, trying to say that they are going to oppose the colonialists or whatever. They packed them in there. It's a punishment center. The place, at that time, it was bad. Now, years later, the place is so bad. If you go in there, the ceiling, you can see the reinforcement. When you go into the cell, under, you can see the reinforcement in the ceiling. So you have reinforcement. I'm a civil engineer. You have the reinforcement, and then you have what you call concrete cover. Yeah. So you can never, normally when you go into a building, you don't see the reinforcement like this. But you can mungagis reinforcement be how rust it is. Some of the people there tell me that the cracks fall down. Concrete sometimes falling down on people. There is no correction going there or rehabilitation happening in Mile 2. Mile 2 is where they take you and put you there to forget about you because of you are too much of a problem for them. Like what they were trying to do to us.
Silencing you.
Yes. That's it. And of course you have criminals who are there. But as a society, we should have correctional facility. This is one of the recommendations in the TRRC. Mile 2 is not a correctional facility there. If they say that, that is false and misleading, and I'll explain to you why. The minister at the press conference when they were responding to Gala and you were there, he said, we just recently published an article about that Mile 2 when one of our Bopa members was asking the minister about Mile 2.
Yeah.
He said that they are going to build a new one and they are going to completely close it down. Yeah. If it is a correctional facility, do you think that they will close it down? Or they will just build another one? If it is serving its true purpose of correction or rehabilitation, it will not be said, the Minister of Justice will not say that they are going to close Mile 2. The only thing that you can do to Mile 2 is to close it down, or to destroy that place, level everything, and raise it up again.
That's the bottom line.
That's the only thing. Mile 2 is so dilapidated. I've not even talked about the food, the berry. Berry is said to be one of the leading causes of death in Mile 2. When I went there, I saw minors inside remand. I saw some people, one person who had told me that he had been there since 2019. And remand, they are supposed to be going to court. Mile 2 is, like I said, not fit for even a dog, and considered Africa's hell on earth. You cannot tell me that that place is a correctional facility. It's not possible.
Yes, well, finally, Mr. Taylor, I would like to ask you this question. Of all these things happening from the beginning of summer till date, do you think this could somehow undermine or affect the Gambia's global ranking in terms of democratic, the most democratic nations in Africa or globally? Because post-Gambia, the Gambia is seen or celebrated as one of the democratic nations because we've restored our democracy that we were enjoying during Jawara's regime. Do you think this in any way could affect the Gambia's ranking at the global stage and at the continental or sub-region?
Well, many rankings it will affect, not just that one. Recently we are celebrating, I don't know whether it's 4th or 5th most peaceful country in Africa or in the world, right?
Yeah, I saw it. 4th, I think.
Yes, is it in the world or in Africa?
4th.
Yes, but Africa. In Africa or the world, one of them.
Yeah, Africa.
So now, that is going to be affected. When police officers are killing civilians, police officers are arresting journalists, that's also going to affect the press freedom ranking. It's going to affect many democratic measurement ranking. Our corruption index is also going down. Because corruption is rampant in this country now. And the executive is acting beyond its powers, trying to remove removing the AG through force with police live in front of a press conference. Even if they wanted to do that, this is what I'm saying, that the police, they are doing they don't care that the media is even showing.
They just have to execute orders.
Yes. Whatever orders come, right, they jump. All this is going to affect our ranking, our peace ranking, our democratic ranking, our press freedom ranking, our corruption ranking, human rights. It will be affected.
All this index.
Because of, you cannot allow citizens to freely express themselves. And you heard the president in his statement saying that they respect freedom of expression and it's a cornerstone of our democracy. If it's a cornerstone, then why are you taking, advocates to Mile 2 for simply expressing themselves? So I think really, it's clear, everything, it speaks for itself. It's high time that we have, real change in this country. High time that they implement these recommendations, the transitional justice, all of them. The CRC, SSR, Jane Commission, remove those people like Njoguba who they have flagged from Pura, remove Mamadou Sabali from your executive, remove all of those people from the Jane Commission, apply the recommendations without politics. That's why people don't have confidence in the local government commission, because of, if they are applying recommendations that they feel like, then what are we expecting from the Jane Commission? From the local government commission. You see? So really,
Mr. Taylor, thank you very much. Time is running against us, so I will leave you to bid farewell to the audience, and if you can share some of the developments that Team Gomsak Bopa is about to embark on. So yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the invite and the conversation. From here, I'll be going directly to court. Of course, we are doing the sensitization. In fact, this is the third appearance on that part of that sensitization, because we wanted to come to all the media houses. We really, from Gomsa Bopa, appreciate how media houses like VOD and all the ones that we've been going to have been supporting us, covering our case, going to wherever we are, coming to our press conferences, and we really want to assure the public that we are not going to relent. We are still on the pure price floor. We come out with our other colleagues, starting other organizations, where we are talking about the AG, trying to make sure that the AG is reinstated. And of course, we are seeing the police brutality. There's so much happening in the country. Follow our social media handles. If you want to register and volunteer with us, we are always very, very happy. Please follow us, and we will take you on board.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Taylor. Our viewers, that's Yusuf Taylor, a seasoned journalist, a fact checker, and also a concerned citizen, but also an activist. And I am your host, Ablie Darboe, on this special interview on current affairs. Thank you very much, and do enjoy the rest of our interesting programs on Voice Out Digital.